Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you. I have a story for you tonight. I will tell you what happened in the last 24 hours. So, when we finished up the live show last night, I started getting messages from people. And they were like, Ping, there is a massive story unbreaking in southern New South Wales. They're like, this is going to be the biggest story over the next 24 to 48 hours. And I was like, okay, this is going to be the real deal. And I was like, well, what is it? And they're telling me they found a woman's body in a suitcase by the side of the road in southern New South Wales. And I was like, "Well, that's terrible. I can't believe, like, why would someone do that?" And then they're like, "Apparently, she could have been there for a really long time." They're like, "The remains were highly degraded." I was like, "Alright, this has happened before. We've seen this type of story in the US and in Australia. It's happened multiple times." So I was like, "Okay, we've seen this happen before." And over the next, like, 12 hours or so, we didn't really hear much, but what we did hear was that they thought it was female, they thought the remains had been there for a period of time, possibly months, and then we didn't hear much else until New South Wales Police called a press conference this morning. And everyone's gathered around waiting for this press conference, and I'll show you sort of some of the scene of the crime. So these were some of the photos that came out, and what we were told is yesterday afternoon, a couple of people driving through this area in a very remote area of southern New South Wales stopped by the side of the road and found a suitcase. They then called the authorities, but there was, like, no phone reception out here, and they had to go get reception, call the authorities, and get the cops to come in. It took a number of hours for the police to make their way in there, and it wasn't until, like, the afternoon, like, later in the afternoon, that authorities got there. So these poor people, you go, "Oh my god, these poor people stopped randomly on the side of the road and they discover like a woman's remains inside of a suitcase. What a terrible afternoon for these, like, they're trying to have a nice Sunday afternoon. They're trying to enjoy their weekend, and then this happens to them. Well, when we had the press conference this morning, the cops had a different story. There you go. There's another view of what these remote sort of rural area looks like. Well, there was a press conference this morning, and New South Wales police had to front the media. And when they front the media, they start talking about how what they found yesterday was not what they said originally it was. Now, we were told yesterday it was a woman's body, had been there for a period of time, had been degraded. And then this morning we find out it's not a body at all. It's a doll. New South Wales Police had to backtrack on what they were saying over the previous 24 hours, and they told us it is a sex doll. Someone has put a sex doll inside of a suitcase and dumped it across some rural New South Wales road. For what reason, we don't know. But details have sort of been trickling out over the last few hours, and some of the details coming out are very odd. One, I want to know how come it took like 12 hours to realize that they weren't human remains. I think that would have been pretty obvious from like the start. Where did they get the highly degraded, like, decomposition part from? And yeah, it's all a little weird. But some of the things we heard today were um, when they set up the crime scene, homicide squad detectives were soon on the scene, with police saying early observations indicated the body to be of an adult female. So, in other words, you saw boobs and some lady parts, and you went, it's definitely a female, definitely adult. And then they are saying here they treated the scene and the incident at its highest and sparked a murder probe, including a strike force. And it was also torrentially raining during this time yesterday. Following further investigation, including forensic examination, I'm not sure why it needs forensic examination, on Monday revealed it to be a sex toy. They said, we've confirmed by other means that they are not human remains. Love to know what other means you used to confirm that these are not human. Silicon doesn't really feel like skin. It is very strange. Guys, give me a sec. 1 second. Sorry, Mr. Muffin is running away somewhere. Yeah, so they're saying they used we've confirmed by other means. I hope that means no one tested it. They said when we were called to the Olin Ford Road, the members of the public did initially think they had come across human remains. We had our forensic officers and police as well turn up, and of course we don't like to disturb them too much in situ, particularly when we are facing inclemental weather as we did yesterday and again today. I'm going to play a video for you, and then I'm going to give you some more details on what has been coming out in the last hour or two.
Good morning. We'll begin with that homicide investigation that's taken an unusual twist in New South Wales. A couple on a scenic weekend drive discovering a suitcase with what they and police believe to be human remains inside. Let's go live to Bailey Kenzie, who is near Goulburn for us now. Bailey, detectives initially thought the body of a woman was inside, but this morning they've backtracked.
Yeah, good morning, Deb. This is a bizarre story full of twists and turns. But let's start at the very beginning. 12:50 yesterday afternoon, as you mentioned there off the top, two men, they were just on a Sunday afternoon cruise when they made what they believe to be an incredibly grisly discovery, that of a body stuffed inside a suitcase around 60 kilometres south of Goulburn. As you can imagine, Deb, a massive crime scene was set up, roads were shut down and the homicide squad moved in. This crime scene remaining in place until around 9 o'clock this morning. That is when word started filtering through to the general duties officers on the ground that inside that suitcase was not a body. No, Deb, it was a doll. Yes, a lifelike doll. The news was broken on breakfast radio, with police left a little red face as they clarified the situation shortly after.
And she was saying, OK, body in a bag, human remains, believed to be that of a woman. But in the last hour or so, they've actually tested it and worked out it's a doll.
Oh, no.
It's a doll.
But we can confirm that the remains found at Owen Ford Road, Owen yesterday, are now identified as not being human. So some good news here that we don't have a suspicious death of a human on our hands.
Deb, with no lives lost, locals that we've spoken to here at Goulburn this morning have described it as the best outcome to a homicide investigation that they've ever heard of.
It worries me when they use the word testing and tested, because I'm worried what that entails. Maybe a forensic R-word kit might track down the owner of the sex doll, and they may be able to use that in court for dumping an imaginary girlfriend by the side of the road. I'm not sure. But some of the details that have come out, they're saying here, a sex doll dumped in a suitcase on the side of a rural road in New South Wales has sparked an embarrassing murder probe after police initially believed it to be the decomposed body of a woman. After making multiple media appearances about the troubling discovery on Monday morning, police were forced to backflip at a press conference and confirm what was found in the suitcase were not human remains. Now, what they've said they believe it to be is a very lifelike doll, complete with hair. But one of the things we also heard is that the doll had some sort of like injuries, like scrapes and bruising. I don't know what kind of doll would have injuries and bruising on the doll itself. They also said the doll had piercings. So some sort of like body modification, I don't like to mimic a real life female, like one that has body modifications. It's a little strange. I don't know why a doll like this would have scrapes and bruises, and whether that led to them initially thinking it might have been real. It's a bit odd. And the other question is, who would do this? Now, I've heard a rumor this morning that maybe some local teenage boys thought that this was quite funny, but I can't imagine them doing something like this. I'm trying to find the quote here about the condition of it. Following is yeah. Following forensic examinations this morning, police confirmed the item located was a lifelike doll wearing clothing with hair and a nose piercing. The item also had markings that resembled bruises and grazes. Very, very strange. Very, very odd. They're saying here, a doctor, a biologist that they contacted from Murdoch University said police overseas have found dead bodies mummified to look like dolls. There could have been semen or underwear in the suitcase, and there are very realistic sex dolls. You might find the semen and the underwear anyway, apparently. Um, so a very strange afternoon. I had this show all set up to bring you this breaking news about a female's body being found in a suitcase. And now I get to bring you a story that I don't know if I ever thought I would read out on this channel about somehow New South Wales police thinking that a sex doll is a human female. They're saying here, I just wanna know why they thought it might be real. What made them think it might have been a real female, and how long did it take to make the discovery that the composition of whatever it is was not like flesh and bone? Because when they use the word highly decomposed, to me that says like skeletonized or mummified, something like that, where you can tell there is a structure underneath, like bones underneath. I can't imagine a sex doll looking decomposed or having a bone structure underneath. So this is a very strange story. Missy said, I need one that looks like Elvis Presley. I'm sure there is a factory somewhere in China that could make that for you. I'm sure there is. Gayla said, boys can't afford that. Well, then we have a question of who would want to dump their obviously very expensive toy being a strange word here, um, on the side of a very rural New South Wales road. Now, when I tell you this place is rural, it is there's nothing nearby. There is nothing nearby for like hundreds of miles. This thing is in the middle of nowhere. When I was looking at it last night, I was playing a game with Mrs. Ping. I was like, how far do you think we'd have to go to get groceries? So we were sort of just playing a game to see like if you lived here, how far would you need to travel to get groceries from the supermarket? And the best outcome we could come up with was an hour and a half drive to another town to try and get some groceries. Like, that's how far away this place is from everything. I'm just trying to see if I can bring up the road for you. O'Allen. Yeah, it is Walgan Road near O'Allen Road. All right, I'm going to take you out there. It is ages away. O'Allen Road is right here. Okay. So this is the corner right here. This is where they found the body. Sorry, on this side, right here. Now, if you zoom out, I'll show you. There is like a couple of houses, like you got neighbors and that. But when we zoom out, there is nothing out here. The closest town might be Goulburn, which is up north here. It's just up here somewhere. Now ping is getting lost, but it's not. It's up here. There. Goulburn's all the way over here. So that would be your closest town that had a supermarket all the way from down here. Like, it is far away. It is not close to anything. And as you can see, it's a very, very rural area. You got some neighbors like here. You've got some other neighbors down here, another property down here. But if you're driving down O'Allen Road, it's just forest. It's like, I don't know why this particular spot out of everywhere nearby under these trees. Oh, that's Bergen Road. Sorry. The one we're looking for is a different road. Let me see if I can find it. We're looking for a different. Is it that one? Nope. Sorry, we're at a different road, but that's okay. It's the same area. Up here. That's Welcome Reef. Okay, guys, give me one sec. I'll go back to the correct road in a second. Island Ford Road. Okay, Walken Road. Okay, Walken's there. Give me 1 second. So that's there. All right, it is not, for some reason it won't come up now. Hold on. We'll have to type it in a different way. Yeah, let's go here. Decide on New South Wales. Yep. Yeah, Island Ford Road. Give me a sec. And what's the other one that we're looking for? Near Walgan Road. Yes. Thank you for that. I can hear it. Aha, here we go. Sorry, it sent us to the wrong. I thought the T intersection was on the wrong side. Okay, there we go. There's the this is the corner right here. Sorry, we're on the wrong intersection. There's Walgan. But like, same place. If I zoom out, we're basically on the same road, just further down. There's nothing around here. It's all it's mountainous over here, very mountain area. And then if you go west, it's nothing. You end up in Canberra, or you end up in Goulburn, and they're hours drive. So I don't know who would be driving through here to dump their lifelike doll, who has piercings, hair, and is wearing clothing. Uh, it's all very odd. I'm gonna see if we can get another update that shows you the area a little bit. If I can, they're saying embarrassing police have had to backtrack. Well, I don't know if it's I guess they have to investigate everything, but the fact that someone didn't pick up that it was a human lifelike doll many hours later, like it took them like till this morning to come out to the media and say something, I guess it is somewhat embarrassing. Yeah, there's another update here. If it'll
Police
load.
have revealed they are no longer conducting a murder probe after revelations a body found dumped in a suitcase south of Goulburn was in fact a sex doll. Emily Francis has more.
Good afternoon. Well, this has been a shocking development from police out of Goulburn this morning, almost 24 hours after investigators discovered what they believe to be the decomposing body of a woman. Forensic testing has revealed it was actually just a realistic doll. Members of the public reported the body in a bag at O'Allen in the Southern Tablelands around 1 p.m. yesterday. The couple were understandably shaken at the time about what they thought they had found on the remote stretch of road and had been working with homicide investigators. Police spent the night up against challenging conditions to remove the bag and gather any evidence of a suspected homicide left behind. But fronting the media just a short time ago, local police here in Goulburn confirmed the shocking development and that resources brought in from across the state would now be scaled back.
Oh, no regrets at all. I mean, New South Wales Police have undertaken the processes that we do to maintain integrity of such serious crime to a T. And I do commend our people for that.
Superintendent Bradbury insists that the early stages of this investigation have followed police protocol. And while at this stage there is no evidence that a crime has been committed, investigations are ongoing.
Police have revealed they are no longer conducting.
So there you go. The big story that I was hoping to bring you this afternoon ends up being a bit of a dud and is not a crime at all. I mean, I'm happy that there is no woman in a suitcase that now we have to track down who she is, who might have put her there, and for what reason. I am glad that there is not another woman who is being killed by a partner or a husband or a random guy. I am glad for that. It is still pretty funny in a way. I still have many questions, including who was the first person in the authorities to look at it? And like I understand they have a workflow that they have to go through in like with forensics, and the cops often don't remove things from bags, especially when they think they're human remains, and they have a process that they have to work through. But it is somewhat concerning that it took so long to figure out that it was not human at all. And it's concerning to me that multiple tests were ran to find out that there was no any kind of flesh or bone, anything like that. And it took a while to figure out that it was silicon or some other type of man made, well, humans are sort of man made too, but yeah, some sort of man made uh, substance. Now, they're saying here about 12:50 p.m., just before 1 o'clock yesterday, two men called 000 to report a woman's body beside Walgan Road near O'Allen Ford Road in O'Allen, about 60 kilometers south of Goulburn. And I just want to find out what else they're saying about it here. So they said the idea is not to disturb crime scenes as much as possible to maintain the integrity of our investigation. It is due to that where we've been able to collect the remains and take them to an investigation at a forensics where we were able to determine that they are not human. Well, I feel bad for the cops, like they said, that got dragged in from all over the state of New South Wales on a Sunday afternoon and got told, "Hey, you have to drive to the middle of nowhere in O'Allen and go check out this woman's body who's been found in a suitcase." So I'm sorry to all the forensics and the police and the homicide detectives that got dragged out from their family afternoons on a Sunday to drive 5 hours south to try and figure this out. I'm a bit, I have sympathy for those police. Now, here's another look at sort of the area for you. I don't know. Maybe it could be someone just driving through, driving from Victoria to Sydney or Queensland, and they decided that their fake girlfriend is too heavy and is causing them too much fuel. And they're going, "Oh, we have to get rid of some weight. So why don't we get rid of the fake girlfriend and chuck her on the side of the road and we'll save a ton of fuel on our trip to Queensland?" Maybe that is what is happening. Maybe they got paranoid that someone was going to raid their vehicle for their doll and chucked it on the side of the road. Chipmunk said, "Let's just say they all had glasses on and raindrops were running down their glasses." Well, it was very rainy. Um, I Him Wanting said, "I wonder if they did a R word kit." Well, I don't think they would have legal authority to do it. No crime has been committed, so they don't really have a right to collect that DNA evidence because they don't have that justification where a crime has occurred. They wouldn't be able to use it to track anyone down because, again, no crime has occurred. So I think if that happened and some guy was tracked down, there would be a massive lawsuit against New South Wales police because while maybe you could say he could get done for dumping rubbish on the side of the road. It's a lot of police resources to use DNA forensic testing to track down someone who dumped their sex doll on the side of the road. Um, SPO said maybe they are coming back to get her. Not anymore. They would have heard about it all on the news. Now, I suspect it's probably been there for a long time. It's probably been there for a month, 5 months, a year. It could have been there for a really long time. And the reason I say that, there was a story a few years ago where a daughter of a woman was dumped in a suitcase and her body in little baby dumped in a suitcase by the side of a road, and her body sat there, I think for years, years before anyone touched it. I'll show it to you. Hold on. All right, let me show you this. This happened. Her name was Candelise Kiara Pierce, and her mom's name is Carly Jade. Carly Jade was murdered, and then Candelise was also murdered. Her body was put in a suitcase alongside the Karoonda Highway in South Australia, and it took a very long time for them to um, someone to find that suitcase, and then when they did, it kicked off a giant homicide investigation trying to find out whose child this was and why she was in a suitcase on the side of the road. It ended up being that they matched it to another set of human remains that they found in a different state, and they figured out that that was the child's mother, and it was this massive homicide investigation. They end up finding out that the mom's boyfriend is the way I'm gonna say it. He ended up being convicted of killing both of them. I just want to see if I can show you Candelise. Yep, Candice Pierce. Yeah, here, let me take you to the New South Wales man charged with murder. Yep. Let me take you to the New South Wales Police back in December of 2015.
State Crime Command Homicide Squad Strike Force Malaya and South Australia Major Crimes Task Force Mali have been investigating the deaths of Carly Pearce Stevenson and her daughter Candice Kiara Pearce. Carly's body was located in the Belanglo State Forest in August of 2010, while the body of 2-year-old Candice was located with a suitcase on the side of the road at Wanaka in South Australia in July of this year. In October of this year, a 41-year-old male was arrested at Cessnock Police Station and charged with the murder of Carly. Earlier this morning,
It's very quiet. Let me try and take you to a different one that'll explain a bit more about him.
Has sentenced Daniel Holdom to life in prison for the murder of Carly Pearce Stevenson and her daughter Candice Pearce. There was applause from the public gallery when the sentence was handed down. Zoe Ford reports.
Justice Robert Hume said Daniel James Holdom showed complete disdain for the existence of his girlfriend Carly Pearce Stevenson, and that to him she was just flesh that could be extinguished for his vile pleasure. He said the manner in which she was killed amounted to extreme gravity and appalling depravity. And he said that Candice was a completely defenceless 2-year-old girl who was intentionally killed with some forethought, and the fact that there was a sexual element to her death only made it more despicable. Carly Pearce Stevenson was killed in 2008 and her body was dumped in the Belanglo State Forest. Her daughter was killed around 5 days later in a hotel room in Narrandera in the state's central west. She was suffocated, and then Holdom put her body in a suitcase and dumped it beside a highway in South Australia. It wasn't until 2010 that Carly Pearce Stevenson's remains were found, but they weren't identified until 2015 when the remains of Candice were found and DNA tests were done. All the while, Daniel James Holdom used Carly Pearce Stevenson's bank accounts and sent text messages to her family saying that she was still alive, she just didn't want to be in touch. Eventually, a partner of his went to police and said that Holdom had confessed to her, and then police also found an SD card showing images of Carly Pearce Stevenson's body in the Belanglo forest, as well as a diary that indicated that he intended to rape Candice. Police said that this had been a very long and difficult investigation. They thanked the family for being stalwarts and thanked the many officers who worked on this investigation.
So when we hear about bodies in suitcases, a lot of people's minds go to this particular case, and this is probably why, and part of the reason they take it so seriously, because they don't want this type of thing to ever happen again. And this is how they found this. That's the little girl, Candice, there. This is the suitcase she was found in, and there's her little like tutu, her little like ballerina outfit, and the little shoes she was wearing. That suitcase sat on the highway for years. No one ever touched it. No one ever picked it up. It was very strange. Just people drove past it day in and day out, and just no one ever touched it. They found it around 2015. They believe it had been there or since about 2010. So, like 5 years. 5 years that suitcase had been there, sitting on the side of the road, just there, which I find astounding. But same thing could have happened to this one too. Maybe it's been there for a severely long time and just no one ever looked at it, even though this one is not a murder victim. Yeah, here, this is how her one was found. It was under this blue tent right here, and people drove up. This is like it is a very rural road, but there's a lot of traffic on it every day, and people just drove past it every day while that thing sat there for like 5 years. No one ever stopped, no one ever looked at it until finally someone did, but that's a long time, and it wasn't until Candelisa's body was found that they figured out who the girl's body in Belangolo was, and then they started connecting it. Oh my god, this is the daughter of the remains that we found in Belangolo, and they're connected, and this one was found over here. It was a really in-depth investigation, and this guy had done it on purpose to try and stall it as much as possible. But when you hear those details about what he did, that's why these when we hear about a suitcase being found on the side of the road, people get a little, concerned. They think it could be something like this where mother and daughter are unfortunately, killed. That's one of the saddest stories I've ever covered. It is horrific. And, you hear about these diary entries where he admits that he was going to sexually assault that little girl, and that was something he planned to do. So premeditated, and then he killed her along with the mom. Yeah, he did all sorts of things. He did all sorts of things. Very, very awful guy. Apparently, he was going to appeal his sentence, so he went to jail for life. Daniel Holden, right? Daniel Holden. So he tried to appeal earlier this year. Earlier this year, he tried to set up an appeal. I believe most likely it'll fail. Let me have a look.
The convicted killer behind one of Australia's most disturbing double murders is now fighting to have his life sentence reduced. A decade after his arrest, Daniel Holdom now claims his punishment was excessive. Leonie Ryan reports.
Good afternoon. Well, Daniel Holdom is serving life behind bars, a sentence that's usually saved for the worst of the worst, and the sentencing judge found he fell into that category. He was behind the brutal murders of Carly Jade Pierce Stevenson, whose body was found in the Belanglo State Forest in 2010. 5 years later, the body of her daughter, Candelise, was found stuffed in a suitcase on the side of a highway in South Australia. A breakthrough came after a call to police and advancements in DNA which linked mother and daughter, and Holdom was arrested and charged. It's been almost a decade since Holdom was sentenced.
A murder of extreme gravity and appalling depravity.
He's now appealing his sentences, his lawyer arguing the punishment was manifestly excessive, that the original judge did not take into account his early guilty pleas, saving the victims' families the trauma of not having to sit through a trial. He also made a mistake by not taking into consideration his horrific childhood. The prosecutor said life sentences were warranted, the murders were heinous. He took photos of Carly after she had been killed and kept them as a trophy. Now, the appeals court has reserved its decision and will hand it down at a later date.
So I think that failed. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure that failed, which it should. That guy is evil personified, really, and he does not deserve anything. I'm just trying to find if his appeal failed. Let me have a Daniel James Holden. Appeal. Maybe the appeals court has not handed down its decision. It looks like maybe the appeals court. Oh no, it dismissed. Just a month ago, the New South Wales Court of Criminal Appeal dismissed a bid by Daniel Holdom to have his sentence reduced. So that appeal did not what they call get up, and he has been denied by the courts. So he's going to go back and spend the rest of his life in jail, exactly where he belongs. So one of the most heinous cases possibly in Australian history. Now, we've got a lot, but a man who kills his girlfriend, I'm going to put girlfriend in quotes, kills her, dumps her in a place where a known serial killer dumped his victims, which is Belangolo State Forest, which is where Ivan Milat dumped his victims, then takes her baby, goes on a road trip, hides in a motel, sexually assaults her, kills her, and then dumps her in a suitcase on the side of a rural highway, and then goes off and tries to live his life as normal. Yeah, he is exactly where he needs to be, in jail, never seeing the light of day again. All right, so that is your update about the suitcase. I'm glad we do not have another lady that has been killed by someone in a suitcase. That is the last thing we need right now. All right, I have an update about a different case in America now. I have one about a 19-year-old University of Arizona student who was found dead in her apartment last week. Now, this case is somewhat unbelievable too. And I'm going to take you out to CBS, if I can say the right thing. Hold on, guys. Did you guys hear that siren? That was weird. Where is it? KVOA? Yeah, we could do KVOA. Hopefully this is loading for you guys. It is not loading. All right, here we go.
And a 19-year-old woman is dead, and Tucson police say her boyfriend is now facing a murder charge after being arrested in Germany. Tucson fire crews found Julissa Salazar dead inside an apartment near Euclid and Speedway yesterday after family members requested a welfare check. Detectives later identified her boyfriend, 20-year-old Varun Bachagari, as the suspect. Police say he had already boarded a flight to Tucson International Airport, headed for Germany, and was planning to continue on to India. The FBI helped Tucson police track him down and get him arrested when he arrived in Germany. He's now facing first-degree murder and kidnapping charges and is now awaiting extradition back to Arizona.
How's that? You actually get out to Germany and somehow escape after killing your girlfriend. Now, according to the information I have, it says here she was allegedly killed by her boyfriend shortly before she planned to end their relationship. Authorities responded to a welfare check from her family. They wanted them to go check her apartment near the university campus on Thursday. And it says, upon arrival, first responders with the Tucson Fire Department discovered her deceased inside the home. Medics observed signs of trauma on her body, and police were then called to the scene. Detectives later issued the arrest warrant for Salazar's boyfriend, and that was on a first-degree murder charge and kidnapping in relation to the crime based on evidence they had found at the scene. They're saying he allegedly fled Tucson for Berlin through the Tucson International Airport with plans to return to his home country of India, and he was trying to do it all in one route. So he was trying to jump planes to make it back to India. However, he was taken into custody upon his arrival in Germany through close coordination with the TPD, the FBI Tucson, and the FBI Legal Attaché Office in Berlin. He's currently in custody awaiting extradition back to Arizona, and I'm just trying to find the warrant. Yeah, 13 News here. Hopefully I can load this for you. Give me 1 second, guys. Everything's loading really slow. I blame YouTube tonight. Where is it? Okay. We're having one of those nights tonight, aren't we? The dead air. Good work, Ping. All right.
In Tucson is awaiting extradition from Germany after police say he murdered his girlfriend. Tucson police say 20-year-old Varun Bachigari has been arrested by federal authorities in Germany on suspicion of killing his girlfriend, 19-year-old Julissa Salazar. On Thursday afternoon, Tucson Fire found Salazar dead in her apartment with obvious signs of trauma. As they were investigating, they found that Bachigari boarded a flight to Germany that same day with plans to continue back to his home country of India. Working alongside the FBI, Tucson police were able to arrange his arrest on arrival in Germany. TPD is charging him with first-degree murder and kidnapping as Bachigari awaits extradition back to Arizona. We'll keep you updated once he appears before a judge here in Pima County.
I feel like we've done a lot with Pima County over the last couple of years. Hopefully this will go a bit more smoothly than some of the other cases we've had to deal with. I just wanted to find a photo of her. Give me a sec. I want to see if we have a nice photo of this young lady. Oh, we do. And it has the angel wings that we always talk about. There you go. Obviously, it is such a thing. They always do the angel wings for some reason. And that is a photo of her. Very nice looking young lady. You know, to be killed at such a young age sounds like she was trying to get an education, a career. And this selfish asshole decided, hey, if I can't have her, no one can have her. Let me kill her. Like, it's tired. It's dumb. Stop doing it. Just move on with your life. Like, give up. If a girl doesn't want you, you can't force her to want you. And by killing her, you're just proving what a meathead you are. You're just proving that you're just, your caveman brain is basically what's controlling you. Me dumb, me no woman, me kill. Like, it's just old. It's just getting old. All these men, whether they're young, old, whatever, it's just getting so over it. It's just like, stop. Just move on. Leave them alone. If they don't want you, oh well. There's plenty of other women in the world. You don't need this one. This one doesn't want you no more. Like, go away. And instead, they take it out on the woman that wants to leave the relationship, and they murder them often in these type of just horrific ways. Horrific. That girl should be still here right now, going to university and just about to start a new school year in what probably right now in August. And it's sad. It's very sad. Let me see. Do I have a photo of this meathead of a guy? Let me see. Oh, I do. Mr. Meathead. I do. Actually, I had a better photo of him. Where is it? There's one that'll prove his meatheadness to you. Where is it? Yeah, I'll give you this photo and then I have a second one of him. 20-year-old, yep. I have two. So here's Meathead number one. There's number one. And then there was a second photo of him. Where is it? I had it the other day. There was one of him in the gym, and he's all like, look at how ripped I am, bro. Look how ripped I am." So you used your strength and your gymness to go and kill your girlfriend. Good work. Congratulations. And then you ran to Berlin, apparently. Um, let's see. For some reason, I can't find that second photo of him. I had it earlier today, and now it is gone. So there was one where he was, doing the old this in front of the mirror and trying to look all tough. Doesn't seem so tough now in jail. Let's see. So They're saying he's been charged with murdering her. Tucson police say she was strangled Thursday in an off-campus apartment near the University of Arizona. They're saying he also stole her cell phone and credit cards after killing her, then sent a series of text messages to her mother while posing as the victim in an apparent attempt to conceal the crime. The messages raised concern among her family, prompting that welfare check. And that is what basically uncovered what he had done. A felony warrant paints a picture of escalating violence and deteriorating relationship and mounting personal troubles in the months leading up to him killing her. According to the warrant, he had previously been involved in an assault case investigated by the University of Arizona Police Department. Witnesses interviewed by investigators said Salazar moved out after experiencing problems with Bachagari late in 2025 and had planned to end their relationship because of an alleged history of DV. The warrant also includes allegations from multiple witnesses describing prior violent behavior. One witness told investigators that Bachagari sexually assaulted her at a Halloween party, but she said she never reported the allegation to law enforcement. Another witness told investigators that Bachagari had been expelled from the University of Arizona following a fight and later lost his job, leading to financial problems and concerns about his student visa status and ability to pay the rent. So this guy flushed his not only his education down the toilet because he is a meathead and is a violent bastard. He then decided, for all the stresses that he made himself, that he would take it out on his girlfriend. So all the things that went wrong in his life were because of his own actions. The losing the job, losing his school, getting kicked out, that's all him because he can't seem to control his emotions, apparently. He seems to use his, fists for everything. I really wish there was more on this. Hold on. Yep, that's what we want. So they're calling him an Indian national. Well, I guess that is true. He's not a US citizen. What else do we have on him? They are saying that there was a news release by Tucson PD, which I'm trying to look at. Let's have a look. That's really sad. According to the felony warrant, Salazar showed signs of strangulation when they found her body. She was additionally found with a blanket pulled up to her neck, probably to hide the strangulation. Bachagari allegedly stole her phone and credit cards. And what else? One roommate told investigators that Salazar planned to break up with Bachagari shortly before her death. The roommate said Salazar was afraid of her boyfriend. These feel very sorry for these girls, man. They get into these relationships, they find out later on what these guys are really like, and oftentimes they pay with their life. It's not their fault. They're not the ones who murdered them, but it's these men. These men are just ridiculous. They've started a GoFundMe for the family, and it says in loving memory of Julie with that photo with the angel wings, and they've raised almost $16,000, about 15,686 to help the family with costs and things like that, funeral costs and stuff like that. Yeah, he is a loser. He is a loser. I hope he gets picked on in jail, which I'm sure he will because he thinks he's such a tough boy and he is going to learn what real toughness is like in a jail. And it's not going to be him. It is not going to be him. Let's see. I really want to find you that other photo because there was this dorky other photo of him. and I'd love to show it to you. Is it this one? Oh, he has a video on YouTube, on his YouTube channel. Let's have a look. Do you guys wanna see his YouTube channel? Let's have a look.
I'm a business analytics student at the University of Arizona, and honestly, I don't think my story starts with what I study. I did not choose this because it was my passion. I chose it because I wanted money, stability, and a way to take control of my life. And I think that a lot of people are in the same place, even if they don't want to say it out loud. We get so focused on being professionals, saying the right things, chasing the right path, and that sometimes we forget why we even started. At the end of the day, we're just humans. And life isn't about working for something, it's about actually living it. I know a lot of people focus on showcasing everything they've done, wanting to work for a Fortune 500 company, or even getting into a big name internship. And I
Buddy, we have no Fortune 500 companies for you. We only have a jail cell. You are heading to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. No one cares about your Fortune 500 and whatever. This guy, what a dork.
and I'm a part of it too. So here I am. I don't see work as my purpose. I see it as a tool, something that helps me build a life that I actually want. For me, life is simple. I want to travel, see different places, experience different cultures, and do that with someone I care about. And that's what gives.
Someone you care about, like the girlfriend you just murdered? Interesting. So you express all these things. I want to travel the world. I want to work and make money. Does that include homicide? Because that is what you've just done. You just committed a homicide against the person you thought might be a part of those dreams that you're detailing on this video. Uh, Interesting. I'm not going to play anymore because he is an annoying twerp. He sounds like an absolute dork. Um, let's see. According to the restaurant, yeah, he's. What else does he have on his channel? Let's have a look. What else is on Mr. Bakagari's channel? He has one subscriber. Well done, sir. Professional persona video. He uploaded it twice. For what reason? I have no idea. Um, why he uploaded the same video two times, I'm not sure. He only has that one video on his channel. That's all he has. This professional advancement video, some sort of weird video about what he'd like to do in life and what he's aiming for, that type of thing. Professional persona, hey? I think your professional persona might be that guy from TV who goes around killing people. Let's see. Let's see. I want to see if we can find anything else about him. That's not what we want. Yes, it's a shame. There's not a lot of media about this, and I feel like it's because this particular story deals with two people who don't have, easy white names to say in the media. So it's not getting a lot of coverage, because it seems like it deals with, you know, I don't mean foreigners, but just, not white people. It's just getting very, very minimal coverage in all different newspapers. Yeah, I'm going to take you out to one last update. This is the only other one I can find. Yeah, Easy Family.
Authorities nabbed a Tucson murder suspect in Germany as he tried to flee the country. 20-year-old Varun Bachagari is accused of killing his 19-year-old girlfriend at an apartment Thursday. Detectives say that same day, Bachagari boarded a plane to Germany with plans to continue to India, where he's from. But when he landed in Germany, authorities were ready with handcuffs. He'll be extradited to Arizona to face first-degree murder and kidnapping charges.
See what I mean? The coverage is very limited. If this was like a different type of person, maybe a white girl, I reckon like there would be thousands of cameras, there'd be all this different stuff going on, there'd be media everywhere, they'd be outside people's homes. But because they involve people with two sort of foreign type names, they just don't, no one wants to cover it, which I think is despicable. This girl deserves just as much coverage about what happened to her as any other girl. And people should be making a big deal out of it because her life mattered just like every other girl who is killed by a boyfriend, by a partner. They all matter the same. And there shouldn't be this sort of like tiered media reporting on it. It should just be all the same. So yeah, very sad story. 19, that's it. 19 snuffed out because her boyfriend couldn't handle that he had self-destructed his life. That's basically the story. He self-destructed his own life because he can't control his emotions. Can't control it. He fights people. He got ejected from school because of a fight. He allegedly SA'd another girl at a Halloween party, and then he was so violent towards his girlfriend that even she wanted to kick him out and break up with him. And when that happened, he killed her. So, just a despicable guy. Hopefully, he enjoys rotting in a Arizona jail, and we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. I don't even have a court day for him coming up. It just says he's being held in a Tucson jail. Let's see. I want to take you out to. I feel like this is Florida, but I just want to check. No, Carolina. I want to take you out to Carolina. No, ping. You got to say the right things. I want to take you out to Wisconsin, and I want to take you out to a woman called Jessie Lee Kittleson and another person called Taylor J. Olson, both charged with first degree reckless homicide. And when you hear this, you might get very mad. Okay? And if you get mad, don't be like Dogface that we just talked about. Control your emotions, take a breath, don't kill anyone, and just keep watching. But be outraged. All right.
Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Kim Leadholm. A man and woman are facing criminal charges in Pierce County after the death of their 3-week-old baby. 23-year-old Jessie Lee Kittleson and 26-year-old Taylor J. Olson are both charged with first-degree reckless homicide and chronic neglect of a child. A criminal complaint says on March 14th, a Pierce County sergeant was dispatched to the town of Trimble for a report of a child not breathing. When he arrived, he found the baby appearing pale and bluish with a dark substance around his mouth and nose. The baby was not breathing and did not have a pulse. CPR was done on the baby, but paramedics were not able to revive him. Kittleson told police she breastfeeds her child and admitted to using methamphetamine throughout the pregnancy and 3 days before the child's death. Olson also told police he'd get the meth that he and Kittleson would use. An autopsy later revealed the baby died of methamphetamine toxicity. If convicted, Kittleson and Olson face up to 60 years in prison.
What a selfish individual. You had a baby, you were caring for that baby, and you only had to do one thing. You just had to stay clean, or you had to bottle feed the baby. That is your choice. You could either bottle feed or you could use your magical powder. Which one? Like that's what you had to do. Like you could breastfeed, but you can't use the magical powder. You can bottle feed and use the magical powder. That's all you had to do. Instead, you're so selfish that you decided to use the magical powder and then breastfeed your child. And you killed your child. Far out. What is wrong with people? Possibly that baby was very ill when it was brought into this world. Why I don't have a photo of the male, I don't know. There's a photo of her, and the information I have is that the baby was found not breathing with a dark substance around its nose and mouth, and she admitted to using that chemical. They're saying her and the baby's father have both been charged with first-degree reckless homicide and chronic neglect of a child, with the consequence being death. And yeah, the cause of the death was that chemical, basically overdose, toxicity for the child. Awful. The fact that you would do that is ridiculous. Um, I'm just trying to see here. So they're both scheduled for an appearance in Pierce County on September 2nd. And they're saying here that the male's name is Kittleson. Let me see. No, that's the mom's name. Sorry. The mom allegedly told police that she used the internet to research how long that chemical stays in breast milk, and that she was confused about the victim was exposed per the complaint. She also allegedly told police that she would feed her baby with milk that she kept in storage from when she was clean. Why can't you go by formula? If you had fed that baby formula, the baby would be fine. You risked it, and ridiculous. They're saying here that the young mother said that she pumped and dumped her breast milk for 48 hours before deeming it safe for her baby. Why risk it at all? There are heaps of mums out there, as sad as it is, who are doing that type of thing. They have been able to raise their children as best as they can, but they've been able to do that without causing toxicity in their child, because they know you can't breastfeed them. You have to basically use formula. And you never know how long that stuff stays in your breast milk. They say 48 hours, but it could be much longer. And you may not even know or remember when the last time you had a hit was. You might be like, I'm sure it was 2 days ago, and it was really like this morning. So ridiculous. Kim said it should have been removed from her care. It's the ice crystals. Yeah. I wish people would get their shit together before having a baby. I know. Um, they have to know she was on it. Well, they knew. But yeah, there's no way. There's no way that she was pumping and dumping for 48 hours like that. I think she just fed it because the baby was crying and she was high as hell. And she just went, "Oh, yeah, it's fine. I gotta feed the kid," and just fed it. And then probably realized after, "Oh no. Oh, I shouldn't have done that." And the baby died. I betcha. She probably was so off her face that she didn't even realize until after she'd fed the kid. What a selfish individual. And now that baby was only 3 weeks old. It's like the smallest child ever. And yeah, she admitted, oh my God, she admitted to having used that chemical all through her pregnancy. All through her pregnancy. So that baby would have been born with withdrawal symptoms. That baby would have been. How did she get out of the hospital with the child? Don't the nurses normally pick up on if a baby is withdrawing pretty easily? Like, I'm shocked that she made it out of the hospital with the child. Like, normally they pick up on that stuff pretty quickly, and I'm surprised she even that's bonkers. I'm shocked that she even got home with the kid. Gail said, "I thought hard drugs were a week." Could be. I don't know. But this woman, hey, let me see if we can find the guy. We're giving her a lot of problems, but let's find the guy. he deserves some blame too. What? Taylor J. Olson. All right, let's have a look. You know where this is from? This is from the same place that little boy went missing in River Falls. Remember that boy a couple of years ago? Same place. No photo of the guy. No photo of the fella. Only of her. Why is he being protected? I'd love to know. I cannot find a photo for him, only for her. He would have had a mugshot taken. I wonder why the authorities did not give it out. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know why the partner has no mugshot. They're saying here the Pierce County Jail did not have a mugshot for Taylor Olson. Okay, doesn't everyone who goes into jail get a mugshot taken? Sounds like some sort of game to not give it out to the media. Yeah. Maybe her mugshot is from an earlier crime. No, no, no. They're saying that that is from now. They're just saying that when they approached the Pierce County Jail for a mugshot for the male, that they said they did not have one. I don't know how you don't have one when you're charged with murder, but okay. I mean, I believe them. Give me a second. I just need to close some windows. Hold on. We have far too many windows open. All right, there we go. Okay, well, we'll have to keep an eye on this one, but what a selfish mom. 3 weeks old. That baby would have been so little. The fact that she told police she used the internet to search how long it stays in the breast milk and that she was confused about how the victim was exposed to the chemical. Come on, lady. You're not dumb. How high are you? Like, if you're saying that you searched the internet to see how long it stayed in the breast milk, but you don't know how it got in the child's body and killed it, I think you may have smoked too much in your very young life and now your brain is gone because it's pretty obvious how it got into the child's system. It seems like you breastfed it and basically it absorbed it through the milk. What a horrible individual. Very selfish mom. Should never have had that child or should have given it up for adoption. It would have maybe saved that child's life. Horrific. That's all I have on that though. I do not have anything else on either of them right now. But I thought I would tell you because, yeah, just horrible. All right, what else do I have on my updates for you? Okay, we could do this. What county is this? Oh, back to Arizona, because why not? Arizona's always fun. Yeah, let's go to KCTV 5, and I want you to watch this. Why is it always weird baby stories on the weekend? It's very odd. We got some body cam. All right, I'm going to take you to body cam. This is about a mum who passed out from drinking too much as a toddler sat barely conscious as the home filled up with smoke. So she's passed out from alcohol, and they're saying an Arizona woman got drunk and fell asleep while her home filled with smoke. And they're saying that her child was in the home getting smoke inhalation, and the child is 2 years old. Her name is Kalian Heathman. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And they're saying as they tried to get her out of the house, she woke up and started resisting their help. Officers later learned the smoke came from a burned pizza in the microwave. Along with the 2-year-old that was in the home, there was also a 7-year-old in the property at the same time. She ended up being booked into jail on one count of CA, and the children were taken to hospital for evaluation. But I have some body cam here that we can watch of the events going down at her home.
Whose house is this?
This is my ex. She's my ex, and this is her dad's house.
Okay.
The door is open.
Okay. You're good. Just stay back there.
Okay, thank you.
Just stay here, though.
She's right there.
Hey, Glendale Police!
Glendale Police!
Let's get this kid out. Go search the rooms. Here. You can grab her. 14th Union. We got one unconscious inside and one kid out of the residence currently. Other unit 17 can just go extra day so we can search, make sure there's no more down people. Drag her out. Hey, ma'am. Glendale Police. Let's get her out. Go search the rooms.
I have not.
Okay. Glendale Police, ma'am, wake up. Stop lifting her legs, dude. Grab one arm. Just gonna drag her out. Can you walk?
I don't understand why you would resist arrest like that after, you know, they're trying to help you.
We don't know yet. Alright, so doing medical. Get her out. Hey, Glendale Police! Glendale Police! Good. I was gonna say, I don't know what's on fire, but she was unconscious. Yeah, it's this right here. Hey, Glendale Police. Okay. Back. It's just the food, but that kid and the baby were both like out. Glendale Police.
Brutal. The fact that this woman would drink that much with children in the home. I'm glad they got the little baby out. Yeah, I'm going to pause the audio. I can't. Can you guys? Oh, there's the smoke. I was trying to look for it before, but I sort of see it now. Wait, that's the kitchen, right? Oh, yeah. There's the, you can see all the smoke coming out of the, everywhere. Look at little baby in like a car seat, just sitting there on the ground. It's like almost like the child put herself in the car seat because it's like, hey, rescue me. I want to get out of here. Geez. There you go. And there's her. They're trying to get her out. Burnt pizza in the microwave. That's what it was. Burnt pizza. Yeah, how long was that kid in the child seat for? Jeez, what is going on with parents this weekend? We've had a weird run of like baby stories. She does not like does not seem like someone who makes good choices. No, Marlene, no. If I didn't drink, I didn't drink if I was the only parent. I mean, we get it. Being a mom on your own with several kids is really hard. But this is not the answer. Not this. This is not the answer. You need some help. You need a night off. You need grandma to help for a night. You need to get a sleep in, a nice bath, a shower. Not this. This is a bad idea. And you know what undid it all for you? A burnt pizza in a microwave. It has now undone your world. And that's brutal. I don't understand this. Look. How long? Look, as soon as they go in, the baby's right there. In that car seat, right there. Why? This is pretty late at night. Yeah, what time is it? According to yeah, I'm just trying to find out how late at night it was again. Oh, it doesn't tell us what time. Is it on the body cam footage? 22:30. So like 10:30 at night. 10:30 at night, and this woman has the baby in the car seat. 10:30 and the kid's there. Kid should be in bed. A 2-year-old? That 2-year-old should be in bed by then. Yeah, 2 years old. I would have thought you would be in bed by then. Yeah, there was another child. There was another kid as well. Yeah, 7-year-old. 7-year-old wants dinner. By 10:30 at night, kids should be fed and in bed by 10:30, whether they're 7 or 2. Like kids should be fed by 7. Like I like those kids, we used to have a rule when I was a kid. When I was this young, we had to be bathed, had our dinner, and done our homework by 7:30, and we were in bed by 7:38 every night until we got a little older, and then we could stay up till like 9, and then we had to be in bed by 9. But it's like 10:30 at night. No, like for a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they haven't even had their dinner yet. That is ridiculous. They need to have their dinner like at a good time every night. Like 6:30, kids need to eat. They need to have their dinner so they can calm down, digest it, and get to bed later. A lot of people leave their kids in car seats so they don't have to watch them. That's ridiculous. They could hurt themselves. There's been children that have strangled themselves from the straps. People they've wrapped them around their necks and they have died. That's a great way to get a homicide charge. Her name is Kalian Heathman, and I have her mugshot here. Here is her mugshot. She's only got that one charge of CA. That's what they're calling it. Can we get any more on her? She appeared in court. She also appeared in court. There you go. All right, let's have a look. Kalian Heathman. Mum passed out from alcohol as toddler sat barely conscious. Well, that's one thing to call it. Let's see. Burnt pizza led to toddler being rescued. Yep. Let me see. I want to see if we can get to her court hearing. I'd like to hear it. Unfortunately, I don't have it. Let me check one other place. Yep, okay. There we go.
An Arizona mother is facing charges after Glendale police say she got drunk, put pizza in the microwave, and passed out while the house filled up with smoke and her 2-year-old was indoors, strapped in a car seat. Police responded to this home because the woman's 7-year-old was able to call his dad for help. Police arrived, they carried the 2-year-old out of the smoke-filled home, then they found the mom, Kalian Heathman, unconscious next to the couch with empty alcohol bottles nearby. Police say she became unruly and they had to drag her out. Investigators say blood alcohol tests showed she was about 4 times the legal limit for driving.
4 times the legal limit, and you got children in the home, and that the 7-year-old had to call dad, who doesn't live in the home, to come and help them. One, good work, Dad. Good work, Dad, for coming and rescuing the children. Well done to you. And that must be Dad at the beginning here that we see. There is a guy at the beginning of that footage. Here, I'll show you. Right here, there's a guy, and he says, like, it's my ex-wife or something. Here.
Whose house is this?
This is my ex. She's my ex, and this is her dad's house.
Okay.
The door is open.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's him. That is Dad, who got called by the 7-year-old. Although this almost seems like, in a way, a setup. Now, I don't want to excuse anything the mum did, but how come Dad didn't just walk in and take the children out? Now, is there a court thing happening? Does he not want to get in trouble with the court by stepping into the home? Does he not want her to complain to the judge that he came over and walked into the property? Like, it's interesting why he would, if he knows the door is open, why did he not take the 2-year-old and the 7-year-old out of the house that is filling up with smoke? I have that question. Interesting. I wonder if both the kids are his. I'm not sure. It doesn't say. He got his child out of there. Didn't the cop pull the
Stay back.
child?
Just stay
Hold on.
here, though.
She's right there in the
Hey, Glendale Police! Glendale Police! Let's get this kid out. Go search the rooms. Here.
The cop handed the child to him. But if he knew the door was unlocked and open, it almost seems like there's some sort of court thing happening, because like that's something a dad who's been through the court and knows his ex will throw everything at him in courtroom would do. Like, call the cops, make sure they're here to document everything. That's what it seems like to me. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's his children. The house is filling up with smoke, and he doesn't want to run in there and grab the kid. Instead, he waits for the cops to get there, and then and only then does he go inside. I mean, still good dad for answering the call and going to the home and calling the authorities. Good dad, but just bit odd. I hear one said he probably called the police on his way there and wanted a witness for his safety. I suspect there's probably some sort of children's court, something underway. Kelly said, I'm assuming the kid in the car seat isn't his, maybe, and the 7-year-old is already out. No, the 7-year-old is in the video. Hold on. The 7-year-old is... Where is she? She was here before. I saw it. There? No. I saw another kid in the video. Here, I'm just gonna turn off the audio. And let's watch. I saw 2 kids in the video. Maybe I've had too much magic chemical. No, I'm just kidding. There's the baby. Did they try to get into there? There's mom. They try to get her up. Then they go through the home. And they search the property. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe the 7-year-old got out. I don't know. When we first watched it, I swear I saw another kid. Like the older one, the 7-year-old. But maybe I thought maybe it was something else. There's all, you can see all the bloody smoke everywhere. No one in the garage.
It's just the food, but that kid and the baby were both like out.
No one in the backyard.
Final place.
Maybe there wasn't. Maybe there wasn't. Kelly said, I don't think a dad will let a 7-year-old alone in there with the cops like that. That is probably true. Clean home, except for the garage. That garage is pretty beat up. Although most garages are. In the backyard, what is that? A camper van? Yeah, camper van. Look, bad mom. Bad mom for drinking that much. The fact they found so many alcohol containers beside her on that in the lounge room, not good. They're saying here no other adults were in the home during the incident when she had been drinking. Uh no other adults. The other thing they're saying here is that little child, the 2-year-old that was found in the car seat, was barely conscious at the time when they picked her up out of the car seat from smoke inhalation. So the little baby was like partially dying from breathing in too much smoke and may not have been able to get herself out of the seat. What are they saying here? She had a blood alcohol level of 0.397. Wow. 5 times the legal driving limit of Arizona. She was too intoxicated to care for both children, according to the police. She's being held on a $10,000 bail, and a Maricopa County judge ordered her to undergo pretrial supervision for alcohol and electronic monitoring. So there you go. Crazy all over a burnt pizza. Yeah, burnt bedtime for her. Yeah, it would be pretty frightening. Yeah, it said it was her dad's home. So was she just staying there, or was dad letting her have the home for the kids? Or I don't know if we'll know. Maybe he's not supposed to be in the home. It could be. It could be. Okay. Do I have one more for us tonight? I might have one more. Let me see. Um Yeah, we can go to New York. Let's go to New York. Man in custody. Yep. I'm gonna take you out to Fox 5 New York.
Developing tonight, that manhunt that stretched from Orange County to upstate New York is over. Thomas Ryan, wanted for the death of his father, has been captured and is in custody now. The search started Thursday night after a house fire in Orange County brought first responders to the scene. The manhunt ending more than 100 miles north in Schoharie County in the Albany area. Fox 5's Meredith Gorman is live in the newsroom with details on how the manhunt ended. Meredith.
Well, a massive multi-day manhunt is finally over tonight because the man accused of killing his own father and intentionally setting his Greenville home on fire has now been captured. State police say 32-year-old Thomas David Ryan was found early this morning in the Gilboa area of Schoharie County. The capture coming thanks to a tip that the Toyota Prius he was driving had been found in a parking lot. The search intensifying, and Ryan was found just after midnight after another tip. All of this putting to an end to the search that started on Thursday night after state police responded to a fire at the family's home on Greenville Turnpike. After the fire was put out, police found Ryan's 70-year-old father, Robert Ryan, dead inside. Investigators determined the fire was intentionally set and began investigating Robert Ryan's death as a homicide. Police say Ryan then took off in the father's gray 2016 Toyota Prius. That launched a widespread search involving state police, the FBI, and several other agencies, with police warning Ryan could be armed and dangerous. Retired NYPD Detective Michael Alcazar joined me to walk us through some of the tools that investigators may have used to track him down.
We had the information on the car that belonged to his father. We assumed there was probably like some kind of GPS or maybe like an easy pass that we could track. So it did make it easier for this guy to get away. But in the meantime, the investigators were canvassing for any kind of video surveillance, including traffic cameras. Luckily, in this case, that the Crime Stopper tip.
I'll leave it there, but manhunt over. We still have another one out of Florida for Isabel, the woman accused of killing a man and burying him in a shallow grave. That one is ongoing. This one now resolved. Now, Mr. Thomas Ryan, accused of killing his dad, killed his dad by setting the home on fire. No, he allegedly killed his father, then set the home on fire on Thursday. They're saying that the police responded to a structure fire at the residence in Greenville around 7:30 p.m. local time. After the fire was put out, they found the deceased male located inside the home. They're still they're still trying to work out how the dad died, but they do believe the son was responsible. And, the victim killed in fire. Yeah, his name is Robert Ryan. He was 70 years old and killed by his son, Thomas. And, they're saying investigators have determined that Thomas had lived a transient lifestyle, staying at numerous shelters throughout New York State. So this kid didn't even live or kid, man, didn't even live in a home. He was homeless basically and moving around, and then decided to attack his own father, kill him, and burn his house down. I'm glad a man who is that erratic is in jail and in custody. Let's have a look. Robert Thomas. No, Robert Ryan. Let's have a look. I just want to see if we have a cause of death for Robert Ryan. No. Oh, wow, they have footage of him running away from the property. They're saying a suspect believed to have killed him. Yeah, killed his father. Thomas Ryan's 32. The fire was deliberately lit. And, but other than that, they've not given out a whole lot of what they believe happened that night. There's his father in a photo right there. Being deployed to the town. But yeah, no details on like why he would want to kill his dad and for what reason. Just that they're investigating the death as a homicide and that they're glad to have him into custody now, so the manhunt has been discontinued. Um no details on her as of yet. I don't have an update for her. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll have a better update for that one. I'll double check right now, but I don't believe I have an update for her. Her name is Denikia Rochelle Boyce. I don't think she has been captured. No, she has not been captured as of yet. She is still wanted by law enforcement out of Virginia for double homicide. No update yet for her. No update. Hopefully in the coming days. Denikia is this woman right here. So no, there is a manhunt or a woman hunt or a people hunt out for her. All right, I said that would be the last one, but I have one more. I have one more about a woman called Kaylee Earhart or Earhart, and she threatened the father of her two children that she said, "Say goodbye to your kids," and she ended up killing those children. I'm going to take you out to KVLY.
This is Devin Fry in the Valley News Now Digital Content Center. Valley News Live has obtained court documents that reveal some disturbing new details in the deaths of 2 children in Mandan and a mother arrested for their murder. That includes video evidence captured on a phone inside that home before police even arrived. Kaylee Earhart, a 22-year-old mother, is now facing 2 counts of murder and additional charges after 2 of her 3 children were killed Thursday night at a residence in Mandan. According to that affidavit, before officers arrived, Earhart had chased the children's father and grandmother from the home with a knife. The father was able to wrestle a pistol away from Earhart, but she then locked him out of the house. Video on the father's phone showed Earhart carrying one of the children while armed and telling the father, quote, "say goodbye to your kids." That's all according to this probable cause affidavit. When officers entered the home, they found Earhart holding a knife to her own throat. She dropped it and told officers to kill her. 3 children were found motionless in a bedroom. A 5-month-old and a 3-year-old later died from their injuries. A 1-year-old survived surgery. The affidavit also reveals Earhart had previously made threats to harm herself and the children, and that Child Protective Services had been made aware. Earhart made her initial court appearance this afternoon. Stay with us here at Valley News Live as we continue to follow updates of this disturbing incident from Western North Dakota. But for now, in the Valley News Now digital content.
We don't get a lot of stories out of this region, but I thought I would at least try and cover it a little bit for you. This woman, what she did, threatening and then, well, carrying out, really, not a very nice woman. Hold on, I just have to change you there. If I can get here. Here, I'll get you a better mugshot for Kaylee Earhart. Yeah, here it is. She was threatening the father of the kids, saying goodbye to your children. What a nasty individual. And if I go back here, yeah, they're saying she faces 2 counts of murder, attempted murder, 2 counts of terrorizing with a dangerous weapon, 3 counts of aggravated assault, and a misdemeanor count of DV violence in connection with the August 6th incident at a residence on South Frontier Trail in Mandan. They're saying 2 children died and a third was seriously injured. According to the affidavit filed by the PD, officers were dispatched to the residence on Thursday evening after a report that a mother had stabbed her children. When an officer entered the home, he found her holding a kitchen knife to her own throat, covered in blood. She dropped the knife and told officers to kill her. She was taken into custody. Following a trail of blood throughout the home, officers found 3 young children lying motionless on a bed in a bedroom. All 3 had injuries concentrated around their necks. According to the police chief, Jason Ziegler, he announced on Friday that a 5-month-old and a 3-year-old had died. A 1-year-old required surgery and survived. The 5-month-old was pronounced dead in hospital Thursday evening. The 3-year-old died early Friday morning at Sanford Health. The affidavit states that before officers arrived, Earhart had chased the children's father and grandmother from the residence with a knife. The father told investigators he was able to wrestle a pistol away from her, disarm it, and throw the pieces throughout the house before she locked him out of the home. Video recovered from the father's phone showed her carrying one of the children while holding the pistol at her hip. In the video, she tells the father, "Say goodbye to your kids." After being advised of her Miranda rights, she told investigators she had placed the children on the bed and believed their throats had been cut before she did so. I don't think we believe you. You know, like that guy, momped a couple butt, and he's like that. Yeah, like that. No, don't believe so. The affidavit also states that the couple had been in the process of separating and that the father had previously reported her to mental health services that she had made threats to harm herself and the children. Child Protective Services had been made aware of those threats and that she had been committed to a mental health facility within the prior 12 to 18 months, had been on medication, and then was cleared to be with the children at the time of the incident. Very interesting that this comes up now during the trial for that other woman who's accused of killing her children with the exercise bans. This sounds very similar. The fact that she had a bunch of these children, a lot of them were under the age of 3, sounds like she wasn't coping, had been to a mental health facility, had been medicated, and then started making threats about things. This might be another case of postpartum psychosis. It sounds remarkably similar to the other one that we've been following in court. It's very, very similar. I'm just trying to see if I can. Yeah, it sounds very likely that this woman might have been suffering from postpartum. I'm just trying to see if there is any suggestion. Just trying to see if maybe she is. So, yes, this woman had a prior history with postpartum depression, and that investigators and local media noted that she had previously shared posts on social media discussing her battles with postpartum depression following her earlier pregnancies. She gave birth to her youngest daughter, Ava, in February of this year, making her roughly 6 months postpartum at the time of the August incident. Right in that real danger zone for women who have just given birth. It's between 3 months and 6 months postpartum. That is like the real severe danger zone for women who are already predisposed to postpartum depression, may escalate into postpartum psychosis. And maybe this woman may have something similar. Yeah, she will definitely spend the rest of her life in jail, but not that it's an excuse for what she did. It just might give you an explanation of why it happened. Not that it excuses the crime that she has done, taking the life of her own children. It just might give us an understanding of how we got here. But yeah, yeah, I know. I don't have the medical history to tell you why they felt it was okay to give the children back and for her to be in the home with them unsupervised, but don't know. Yeah, it sounds very familiar. Hmm, interesting. It does sound very much like that one that is in trial right now. Here, Lindsay. What's her name? Lindsay Clancy, right? Lindsay Clancy, which tomorrow will enter the 3rd week of trial. They reckon there could be still 2 more weeks to go for her trial. So we could get up to week 5 or week 6 for her trial. But yeah, if you look sort of through um the events that happened with Lindsay, it is very similar to what has happened here. This woman was medicated, went to a facility, had a prior history. Interesting. This lady sounds more malicious. The fact that she threatened the husband is interesting, and she said, say goodbye to your children. That is pretty evil. Pretty evil to say that directly in front of the dad. Mm, we're going to have to wait and see. Right now, she has no court date scheduled right now. And I'm just trying to see if she has one coming up. No, I don't see anything, but she has been ordered through the court to have a mental health psychiatric evaluation and that she has medical assessments pending with the court. So we're going to have to wait. So the court documents confirmed that she had been involuntary held on a 5150 hold in the past 12 to 18 months due to prior threats of self-harm and harm to her children, though she was later cleared by doctors to return home. The fact that she was pregnant only a number of months ago, though, and gave birth, it could have reset the entire thing. That's the problem. These women who get pregnant back to back when they've already had mental health issues with postpartum, maybe have a break from having the babies. Like, take a year off, like, raise the kids and get your mental health back. Have a little break and then maybe pop out another kid. Like, what was the urgency in falling pregnant so close to the other child? Like, what was going on there? Like, I know some mums can't go on birth control after they've given birth. Like, some mums can't because it messes with, like, I don't know, messes with something, and they can't do it. Mm, that's why some mums often find they get pregnant really quickly after they have their baby. W Yeah, you don't get pregnant after losing, yeah, why did that need to happen? Why did a 3rd baby need to come along so quickly after the 2nd? That is a question I hope they will look at for this, because it sounds like she already wasn't coping. So then you give her a newborn to go through? Sounds like there might be a lot of questions to ask for a lot of people. I Am Wanting says most medical professionals say don't get pregnant again after a bad postpartum depression episode. This lady's already had it twice before, each with each of the pregnancies she had before the 3rd one. Sounds like this 3rd one might have, you know. Yeah, you can, of course. Of course you can. Content Angel said, "My sister is bipolar. The doctor told her when she was diagnosed that having kids could have adverse effects on her mental health. She never had kids." Okay, interesting. Sean said, "Surely she has to be supervised." Supervised where? Are you telling me to give it a rest? I don't know what Sean's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. Let's see. They're saying here, because the tragedy occurred so recently. Okay, they don't know. Yeah, no court date. Interesting. It's interesting that there's no court date scheduled. Her criminal culpability will likely be determined. Oh, she's got a culpability. Okay. No, she does have an upcoming date, but they pushed it off to wait for medical eval. She's got a really far date. It's not until October, which is actually really far into the future for an initial hearing. Normally, you have a hearing within the first month to determine culpability or the evidence to go to trial. The fact that they've pushed it off until October tells me that they must have ordered a raft of different evaluations for her. The fact they want 2 months to get those evaluations in order, yeah, that's a lot. So she's gonna have a criminal basically a competency evaluation done on October 6th. October 6th, they're gonna have her back in court asking her to asking the police and whoever else to provide those documents. I'll give pregnancy a rest? Well, I think so. The fact this lady had so many babies under the age of 3, Poor lady. I feel sorry for her in that regard. I don't feel sorry for her for killing her own kids. That is like a step too far. But I you know, I feel for any mom who's got 3 babies that are like 1, 2, and 3. It's very, very hard. Let's see. When's first notice? Yeah, so she had been posting online talking about her depression after her babies. Not good. Not good. Let's see. Yeah, 3, 5, 1. Okay, so she had her 3-year-old Morgan. Then she had a 1-year break, and then she had her second child, Colton, who's a boy, and then she had a wow, she was pregnant real quick. 1 year, 5 months. Wow. The baby she just had, Ava, is only 5 months old. Her other son, Colton, is only 1 and a bit. So she basically fell pregnant instantly. As soon as she had Colton, she was pregnant again. Yeah, within months, within a couple of months of her having the 1-year-old Colton, she was already pregnant again to have her third child, Ava, the one that was born in February of this year. That poor lady. I feel like, how come you didn't take the break? So when they had the 3-year-old Morgan, they had a break for 2 years before they had the next baby, Colton. That maybe that would have helped her to have a break between Colton and Ava. Like, if you had another year to give mom some time off, let her get used to having another young child again, um, maybe that would have helped because, yeah, having a baby and then getting pregnant instantly again after you just got through that pregnancy. Um, Irish twins. I can be pregnant. I am always pregnant. Gail said mine started while still pregnant, probably because I went into labor. Yeah, this lady looks like she was back to back. That's like really bad. Feel sorry for her in a way. Kim said mine are 16 and a half months apart. Then I got an IUD. Good work. Irish twins, is that what they call it? Because they're so close together. Because yeah, five months and then 1 year. So it was like 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, then a 5-month-old. So yeah, that 1-year-old, and then she was basically pregnant again. Poor, I mean, I feel sorry for her in that regard because I think any mom that has 3 children, all under the ages of like 5, that's a hell of a time for any parent, dad or mom. But they're gonna have to find out what happened. So when she was committed to the psychiatric facility, that happened, I think, if I'm judging this right, after she had Colton, she then was put into the mental health facility for a period of time. Medical treatment. Yeah, she was. And then she was cleared to come back out and spend time with her children on her own. And then she fell pregnant again with Ava. I mean, we'll find out. We're gonna have to wait for some more details about was there anyone monitoring her through that last pregnancy and the facility that she actually got assigned to. Were they keeping checks on her? Like, was there anyone coming out to talk to her, see how she was coping with Ava? Were they sort of like was she still doing monthly meetings with them? You know, how are you coping? What's going on? That type of thing. Kim said, mine are, yeah, I read that. If you get pregnant during your healing time. Ah, okay. That's what it's called. Well, we're seeing a lot. Like, I know these have happened throughout history, but geez, we're hearing a lot about them lately. over the last number of years. So many women, when their children are that young, we're hearing so many of them end up in these murder cases where they've hurt their own children. I just don't know if there's anything that I don't know if there's much that can be done except to take the mother away from the child altogether. What if mental health professionals who spoke to KFYR noted that 1 in 5 new mothers experience postpartum depression. Postpartum psychosis is far more rarer, and it is an acute psychiatric emergency. Psychosis causes a total break from reality, severe delusions, and paranoia, and commands hallucinations, which can completely override a patient's normal behavior. Um, they're saying that they don't have any evidence that she has ever been diagnosed with postpartum psychosis, but she has been diagnosed with postpartum depression. All right, one last video, then we'll get out of here.
Providers say as many as 85% of new moms experience the baby blues. 1 in 5 with postpartum depression. Haley Pomones is a nurse practitioner specializing in depression, anxiety, and mood disorders at Sanford Health in Bismarck.
And it often gets missed. You know, I think a lot of women want to mask their symptoms because they want to seem strong. You know, they don't want their kids taken away from them. So it's very unlikely for them to tell their clinicians what's actually going on. They're guilty that they feel depressed. They just had this new baby. I should be happy, but it's just this chronic state of, you know, having very intrusive thoughts about, you know, either wanting to harm themselves because they feel so depressed.
Family or spouses should look for the signs of the condition. They can include decreased interest in pleasure, lack of self-care, and paying less attention to the infant. It can happen within a year of the baby being born. And as a reminder, if you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, you can contact the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for 24/7 support.
There you go. I think that's a good message to end it on. So there's some emergency numbers there in case anyone needs them. And if you're feeling that way, you can contact those numbers. Contact them and don't end up like the women that we talk about in these stories. Reach out for help and you know, don't fall victim to those intrusive thoughts that you know you can get. They're not real, even though they feel very real. And these people on these hotlines can help you work your way through it and get to the other side without partaking in something as severe as what's happened in the last two stories that we've spoken about. We don't want to read any more stories of mums doing this, and there is help out there for you. All right, I want to just check one more thing and see if there is any update on our fake murder victim from earlier tonight. Any updates on our fake? Oh, that's weird. That lady just popped up in a news story in Australia. Seriously, that Erhardt, the one we just talked about, that's so random. I just opened up a thing to see if we could see anything about the fake woman in the suitcase, and then it popped up with this. This is her right here, and there was a new article out about her. That's so random how that happens. What are they saying? Oh, they got photos of all her babies there. What are they saying here? Yeah, look at these little sweet kids, man. It's very sad that two of them are not here anymore. So they did set Erhardt's bond at $3 million. So she would have to post that to get out. Either it's a cash bond, so it sounds like she'd have to come up with all of the 3 million. I don't know if that would allow. No bond agency is going to give you 3 million bucks anyway. So she's probably most likely not getting out. They're saying here a formal no contact order has been put in place barring the accused killer from contacting the surviving child or any other family members at all. And she posted on Facebook in April of 2023. This last month and a half have definitely been some of the hardest times I've been through. I love Morgan to pieces and I'm so glad she's here, but my postpartum depression has definitely kicked my butt at times. Sometimes I feel so alone and stuck, like nobody is there for me. I have nobody to talk to, and sometimes I wish I could have waited to have Morgan. Ding, 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 ding. It's definitely been a wild ride considering I felt so depressed and I thought Morgan would be better off with me gone, and other times, like, I don't know where I'd be without her. She went on to say that she was one lucky mama to have this little girl with me every day, and to claim that adorable Morgan has definitely helped me out in more than one way. Yeah, wow. Definitely some mixed messages. Okay, actually, we have one more update. They have her in the court. I want to show it to you.
Responders, family, and the community of Mandan are dealing with a horrific crime. Police say a mother killed two of her children and injured a third yesterday afternoon. Hannah Newrohr is live in the studio with the details.
The mother of three is facing several charges after police say she locked herself in her home with her three children with the intent to kill them. Court documents detail the events leading up to the murders, including the fact that the woman threatened and forced the father of the kids outside before attacking them. Law enforcement arrived at a mobile home along the 1200 block of Frontier Trail in South Mandan around 5:45 p.m. Inside was 22-year-old Kaylee Earhart and her three children.
A scene like that is something that nobody should ever have to see. And the way they came through in one of the most horrific times that they'll probably experience in their life, I'm proud.
A court affidavit stated the children had lacerations. They were taken to hospitals in Bismarck. The 3-year-old and 5-month-old died. Police are not releasing the condition of the 1-year-old child, but that child underwent surgery. In the affidavit, the father told investigators Earhart had mentioned dying by suicide and killing the children, and he had plans to divorce her.
At this time, I want to acknowledge that this is an extreme tragic and heartbreaking incident for the children involved, their families, our community, and the first responders who arrived on scene. Our thoughts are with everyone that were impacted by this tragic incident.
An initial appearance took place at the Morgan County Courthouse on Friday, where the bond was set.
A bond will be set at $3 million cash. The reason for that is the extreme violence in these alleged charges and the threat to the community, victims, and children.
Earhart faces 9 total charges, including 2 counts of murder, attempted murder, and 3 counts of aggravated assault.
Is it just me, or in this photo and the other one we have the mugshot, she looks so doped out of her mind, and I'm not excusing it like the lady in the Lindsay Clancy, but it's just an observation. Like, I don't know if it's got something to do with like when you commit murder, maybe do you act like this? I don't know, but she looks out of it. Like, do you see that one that we have on the video and then the one we had up before? She just looks like out of it. Like the lights are on, but nobody's home. That's the sort of picture I get from the video too. It's just like no one's there. Crazy ass, yeah, a little bit. All right, let's get out of here. Hey, I love you all so much. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll hang out for Monday for you guys. It's already Monday here, but it'll be Tuesday here, Monday for you guys, and then we'll see what updates. Hopefully, no more fake women in suitcases. Hopefully, no women in suitcases at all. That would be good. There's one final update. What are they saying? There's an update to the suitcase. I'm just trying to find out what it is. I don't know. I'm not sure. They did an update like 30 minutes ago. I'm trying to find out like what actually is so important. Yeah, we know that. Let's say form. I don't know. They're just saying that listen, 24 other bags of presents are not human. Yeah, just they're saying it's not human. They're saying a high-end sex doll dumped in a suitcase on the side of a rural road initially sparked an embarrassing murder probe by police who believed it to be the decomposed body of a woman because of its lifelike appearance and even the fact that it was dressed provocatively. Okay. Okay. So they're just saying that here that New South Wales police revealed the opening of the bag by forensic experts had revealed what was inside was not human remains. Police say a reason for the confusion was that the sex doll was incredibly lifelike, wearing clothing with hair and a nose piercing, while it also had markings that resembled bruises and grazes. We're going to need a photo. New South Wales police, I think you need to give us a photo of what was in that bag and let the public judge for themselves. The public need to see what was inside of that bag. You know, we need to see. That's what the public needs to have a look. All right, let's get out of here. That was no update. It was like a nothing burger. I will see you tomorrow. There'll be more crazy things that happen tomorrow, I promise. And I'll see you then. Bye.